All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Arizona Real Estate Showcase, brought to you by the GRANDON GROUP, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. I'm Jason Grandon, your host and your realtor for the Valley, and my sister, of course, Stacey, is up Hamlin, Prescott, Flagstaff, and today she is getting snow. So, Stacey, be careful out there and have a good time. Arizona is the absolute best place to live. And we felt it very necessary to do this particular podcast today, specifically for the reason that we are getting a lot of questions on this. Okay, so the housing market is crazy. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's unlike anything we've seen in the past. People are making 33 to 45% in a year on their house. It's crazy. I mean, my house alone in 4 years has doubled. So now we have some questions we have to ask ourselves. Okay, and I do believe we're at the top of the market. Okay, are we going to crash? Absolutely not. So for those of you that are like, I'm waiting to buy a house because I'm waiting for the market to crash, you know what? Your market crash is coming, and that's by interest rates climbing. So, but you're not going to have a crash. You're not going to go get your $1 million house for $500,000 like you did in the nonsense that the government pulled in 2008. Okay, so stabilization is what we have coming. Prices are still going to be crazy. Interest rates are still historically low. I talked to 3 different lenders yesterday, and they all agree that by the end of this year, 2022, we're going to be at 5% interest rates. 5%. So those of you that are able to buy a house at 3% right now are not going to be able to buy the same house at 5%. So if you're looking at a house that's $500,000 today, by the end of the year, you won't be able to afford that. Or at least you won't want that number, because it is, it's quite a bit more. So we are not going to crash, though. Prices are going to still stay good. It's just there's going to be more inventory hitting the market. I also did get wind from another source of ours that there are a lot of people that did not pay their mortgages during this whole quote-unquote pandemic, this COVID deal, and we're going to see some houses hitting the market. Now, keep in mind, for those of you that have called me and called other realtors and said, hey, I only want a bank-owned or foreclosure-owned home. In the state of Arizona, there is a $150,000 homestead. So the houses have so much equity that we're able to put these houses on the market and clear out any debt that's due on the house from the seller, unless, of course, it's just some absorbent amount of money, which the bank probably did not lend that amount on there. So if you have a house that's $300,000 and you're going to let it go into foreclosure, odds have it we're going to be able to snag that house, sell it, get you well more than the $300,000. So for those of you waiting for the bank-owned foreclosure homes, you're going to be waiting because they're not there. But so the values are there. It's a great time to buy. Do not get me wrong. It's a horrible time to rent because, one, there's nothing out there to rent, and if you do find something, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible of how expensive it is. So anyway, getting on the bandwagon to buy a house. Yes, buy a house. Right now, today's interest rates are, you can still get in the low 3s, but they're climbing. Get with a lender. Let us send you to some lenders. We've got some great ones. Get qualified, purchase a home. For those of you that are selling, and here's the predicament I'm in. So we own a nice home up here in the north part of the valley. And it's doubled. We've had it for 4 years, and it has literally doubled in value. Over doubled because the neighbor just sold theirs, a smaller house. So the question we have is, do we sell it and hang on to the cash and then rent for a year? Because you can't sell and then go buy something else, if you're in the same area. So I live up in Cave Creek, North Scottsdale area. So for me to sell a house, for example, for $1 million, to go buy $1 million house, another $1 million house, it's not apples to apples. So, and I can't go to Paradise Valley or one of these other areas. So yes, I could go out to Buckeye, but then here's your issue. Those starter homes that are around the valley that are like $250, 6 months ago, they are no longer starter homes for most people because they are, $400,000 or $500,000. And so we have the question, well, will those drop back to those prices? No. But things are going to have to change because the person that can afford a $250,000 house can't afford a $400,000 house regardless of the interest rate. So, anyways, but for those of you, and I digress a little bit. So, we've got two situations here. Buying. If you're going to buy, right now is a great time to do it. Do not waste your money on rent. Unless you absolutely don't know what you want to buy, do not waste your money on rent. Go out, get pre-qualified, get locked on that rate, and let's get you a house. We can have you closed within 30 days. It is a great time to buy, and if you can find something, you're in luck. Now, here's the other thing as far as that goes. I had a call this morning on this, and that's kind of what prompted this last minute. I wasn't planning on doing a podcast today, but I wanted to get it in there. So I had a call, and the guy's like, we've been working with these two other realtors, and they just can't seem to get the job done. And they keep telling me, we don't even want to put an offer. It's a waste. So listen, we know a lot of realtors out here, and there's some really, really great realtors. Again, you guys want to use the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. The realtors that are not getting deals done are the ones that are refusing to build relationships. So after 20 years in this business, you should be able to call any realtor up. I can call any realtor up if you're looking for a house and say, Mr. Realtor, this is, Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group. I understand you have a house coming on the market or whatever the case is. Got a client, explain it to him, and start communicating. Communicating in this market is key to getting your client a house. And I cannot believe, and you can see it on the posts, on these different sites on Facebook, how many realtors do not communicate with other realtors. It is beyond me the amount of stubbornness or ignorance or just plain sloppiness or lack of knowledge that some of these people have, that they refuse to pick up a phone and communicate. I guarantee you, every single realtor, your top performing realtors, have the same exact goal as everyone else, is to get a house sold. The other thing, this whole bit of we're not presenting offers till Monday, you're doing your client a disservice. We talked about this on the last episode. Any realtor that's holding on to offers and not presenting them, one, it's illegal because unless it's in writing from the seller. But when an offer comes in, it's supposed to be presented. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. But some of these realtors, all of a sudden, it's a hot market, so they're the cat's meow, which we need to get rid of that stuff. Anyways, if you submit an offer, make sure it gets presented. Okay, sellers. I go back and forth on this, and I got to tell you, I just don't know. So if you own a house and you've doubled the equity, tripled the equity, do you sell right now at the top of the market and hang on to the cash? Or if you're truly happy where you're at and you're like, I don't plan on selling, I don't care about the market, perfect. You've got no issues. Stay in that house, keep fixing it up, just keep up with the maintenance and stuff because it creeps up. For those of you that are like, we're thinking about selling in a couple years or a year, the kids are getting out of school, whatever the case is, the question is do we sell right now? Because you are going to get top dollar for your house. Then, do you go buy with low interest rates, or do you just rent, hang on to that cash? Again, if you're walking out and you're walking out with $1 million cash, for example, and I've got a couple clients that are in a position where they'll sell their house and they will gross over $1 million after all fees, everything, $1 million. That's unheard of in a 2-year, 3-year period. So do you take that money and hang on to it now and rent and just kind of live very easily until something comes up that you want? So those are the kind of questions that we want to help you answer, and everybody's situation is different. If you've got kids that are just starting, grade school, kindergarten, first grade or something, and you plan on staying in an area for a while, this is probably not a question for you. It's probably like, you know what, we've got our 2 kids, we're not having any more, at least we don't think we are. House is fine, we love it. Probably not a question for you. But if you've got kids that are, maybe getting ready to graduate high school, or you're thinking about expanding your family and stuff and you need a bigger house, these are the questions that you need to really sit down and think. And a good agent, the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, can help you. Hey, this is not just for Maricopa County either. This is for Prescott, Flagstaff, Sedona, Williams, all these different areas up here. We're all experiencing the same thing. So we just put another mobile home under contract. We didn't even put it on the market. We put incoming soon status, which is this other ridiculous thing that I think is ridiculous. So agents have to put a home on coming soon. So we can't hang on to a listing. I can't list your house now and just hang on to it. I have to actually once I get the listing, put it on the market. I don't have to put it active, but I can put it on coming soon, and I can keep it up to 30 days. So we put this mobile home in coming soon. 6 offers, all 6 of them were over the $279,000 asking price. So we're over $300,000 on this. It's happening everywhere, folks. It's wild, but just rest assured, this market is not going to crash. It's going to stabilize, but it is not going to crash. Some of you are going to ask, what does stabilization mean? Well, that means that the comps in a neighborhood might be $500,000 on a house, and right now the houses are selling for $650, something like that. Stabilization will be where the comp in that neighborhood is $500,000, for example. Your realtor that you hire should probably price the house accordingly to that comp, not some inflated comp that just came out because it's a rat race. We still have over 350 people a day moving into just Maricopa County. It's crazy. Mesa in the East Valley, Queen Creek, Santan is seeing a boom like nothing we've ever seen. It is absolutely crazy. Businesses are moving into the valley. We've got a semiconductor business moving here with over 1 billion square feet off the I-17 and Jomax. And that area is hot right now, but we are about to see another boom in that area like we haven't seen because of the people coming in, the influx of people coming in. So keep that in mind. If you got questions, whether you should buy or sell, make sure you call the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother sister real estate team. Numbers listed below. We'll make sure we get you taken care of. So let me kind of go into a little different topic here. Again, as you know, with the Lockbox TV show and Arizona Real Estate Showcase, we try to stay away from politics. Okay? So we're not going to get in there and say, oh, you need to vote for this guy or that guy. But here's what we are going to do. And this is huge, and we've been doing it for the past couple weeks on some stuff. Voting season's right around the corner. It is imperative, absolutely imperative, that every single one of you get involved. Now, does that mean I have to join a board or get involved in the legislative districts? No. What it means is that you just got to kind of open your eyes a little bit to things going around here. I'm going to make a statement here, and this is 100% truth, and I dare anyone to call and try to change my mind or prove me wrong on this. Elected officials, okay, people that you're voting for, school boards, House of Representatives, senators, Chamber of Commerce, whatever it is, elected officials have a direct impact on your home's value and the community you live. I dare anybody to challenge me on that. Elected officials have a direct impact on your home and community values. When I say wake up and get involved, this is exactly what I mean. Me personally, I'm a legislative district member for the district I live in, which is number 3. And I get involved with our TV show. I bring a lot of the different politicians on the show and talk to them about why they love Arizona and so forth. Also, we stay in touch with the different school boards. And right now, Arizona's a laughing stock of America for 2 school districts out here. And these clowns on the board have actually hurt values. Now, you'll look at the values in Scottsdale and Deer Valley and be like, right, those houses are ridiculously priced. The fact of the matter is that there's a big issue with the boards, and they have a direct impact on the community and the value. So that's kind of stuff that needs to be changed. So when I say get involved, meet your legislative district. Find out what legislative district you're in. If you don't know, call me. I'll find it out for you. Find out who's running for different positions. House of Representatives, Senator, Secretary of State, Attorney General. Who's running for your local school board? This is important whether you have kids or not, by the way, because these school boards dictate a lot of the school policy, and the values then are tied in to those schools. And trust me when I tell you, we've got some clowns out here on school boards that the parents are doing a great job of getting rid of, and we're going to run it out and get things changed. So Arizona's got some great schools. So don't let me deter you from bringing your kids here, but I do want to. I want you to get involved. I want you to see what's going on. I want you to pick up the paper and say, hey, who is this person who's running for this position. Why should I vote for them? And they're easy to talk to. They're very easy to get a hold of. They'll come to you. And, again, it's a direct impact on your values of your community and your home. Get involved. And that was our latest hashtag today, was get involved. So, anyways, listen, love doing this podcast. I'm trying to keep them shorter and sweet for you because I know everyone's busy. And by the time you get to your next destination, you probably turn it off. But I do want to thank you for we've hit the 2,000 mark on listeners for this session. So that is great. So you know what? All of you, I know you're listening from all over the world and all over the country. Thank you from the Grandon Group. Really appreciate it. I like the emails. I like some of the, I've met some actually really cool people online. They're like, hey, I heard your podcast, or I saw the lockbox.tv and saw you on there. And it just became friends with some people. And we've got a lot of great people moving to Arizona, and people are getting involved. They're outside, not today. Today's cold and rainy. But we see people out going to the gun range, riding horses. Dirt bikes are huge, ATCs. Just everyone's out having a good time. Arizona is an open state, by the way, so we don't have mask mandates or any of that. You can come here, take that thing off your face, go enjoy, sit out on a patio at one of the local restaurants, and there's a ton of great ones. Have a great steak. There is so much to do out here. That's why we love Arizona, and that's why this is the greatest place in the world to live. And everybody in the world that comes here will tell you the same thing. Great customer service, good time, friendly atmosphere. We love it. Okay, hey, I hope today was informative for you. Buyers, buy. Sellers, depending on your situation, and call me and we can discuss it, or call my sister, Stacey, and we can discuss it. Might be time for you to sell that house. Let's get it listed. Let's get it on the market, get top dollar, and just hang on to the cash. That way, when the market does change a little bit, interest rates go up, you're going to have a ton of cash that you can go out and maybe even buy a couple different places. Keep that in mind. Rental prices are going to continue to rise, and the rental market is very non-existent right now because there's not much out there. So it's very hard to find rentals, and the prices are high, but they're out there, and we can find them from you. And then remember, hashtag get involved. You have to know what's going on in your community, folks. Keep these house prices going. Keep these communities clean, fun. This is not a left or right wing issue. This is a common sense issue that we love where we live. We want everyone to have a good time. We want to have barbecues with the neighbors. We want the kids playing together. And we don't really want to get into discussions of, you should have voted for this person or done this. We just need to have common sense and say, you know what? Our goals for this community is to have kids that are well-rounded. They're doing great in school. We want to have good schools. We want good sports teams. We want this, this, and this. We don't want a cigarette shop and a liquor store on the corner. That's up to you. Get involved. Okay, hey, you know what? Thanks again for listening to the Arizona Real Estate Showcase, brought to you by, of course, the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, right here serving all of Maricopa County, Yavapai County. I've got to tell you, Prescott, Flagstaff, Mare, Cottonwood, Sedona, you guys are awesome. We've really, really enjoyed meeting a ton of new people up there, working with it, and we are expanding our team up in that area. We're currently looking for, a brick and mortar, so you guys will be able to come in and visit, and we'll be bringing on new agents as well because we are absolutely overwhelmed up there. Any questions? Numbers below. Thanks again. You guys check out lockbox.tv for our TV show. We got some new episodes airing this week finally. And thanks again. Arizona Real Estate Showcase. We'll talk to you later on this week. Have a good one.